Hi there, I'm Robin Retallick of the Law of Attraction Club, and we're in the middle right now of about to produce, in fact, our 3 monthly series of weekly videos on Law of Attraction A to Z, soup to nuts, the whole story. Who we are, but more importantly, who you are, and the options you have, the power you have to change your world. But for those of you who are feeling under siege from the politics of the day and the questions we've been getting, we thought we'd do this short video because Tara has some comments about your ability to be in charge here. So here's Tara. Welcome to our video on Law of Attraction, Brett Kavanaugh and your right to choose. Let's say that in your one world there's a person called Brett Kavanaugh, many of whose beliefs are diametrically opposite to yours, and he just got appointed to a position of power over you and your country by a president with power over you and your country, whose views you also passionately disagree with. And now you are in despair. How on earth did this happen? What can you do now? Do you feel propelled into righteous resistance? Is it time to redouble your efforts, to gather the willing around you to march and demonstrate and take back your power? We recommend you do not. We recommend you think differently, create differently, and have a whole lot more fun in life than you're having right now. And here's the story of how you do that. If you are on the railroad line called struggle, no matter how seemingly righteous your cause, eventually you discover that every destination you triumphantly arrive at on that line has been compromised by that struggle. And if you are not prepared to change the track you're on, your destiny will be more of the same, and more of the same, and more of the same. Let us be clear up front here. The stark truth is that for as long as you are locked onto the idea that you're in one world and it's out there, and it's a dangerous place you have to deal with, for as long as you believe all that's necessary for evil to triumph is that good people do nothing, then what follows here will make no sense at all, and you will never truly understand the law of attraction. We submit that the concept of a loving, omnipotent God cannot be logically superimposed on top of a one world, no matter how much theology you attempt to wrap around it. Similarly, the idea that by law of attraction you can choose to have that one world be as you want it to be ignores the obvious fact that anybody and everybody else on the planet could be choosing something quite the opposite. So here's the simple but elegant truth of it all. There isn't just one world out there. From your perspective, there is only your world. You live in a multiverse. When you choose to go left at the fork, an equally valid version of you goes right. At a deeper level, you have chosen to remain aware of only one of those versions, but all exist as choices. By law of attraction, you attract into your experience, wanted or unwanted, unique to you, moment by moment, a version of you and events that match the tapestry of your now expectations. Those now expectations are the direct result of what you have chosen to believe and practiced into an aligned belief at all levels of your consciousness. The physical world and the non-physical world that surrounds you, and the people and things that are in those worlds, are simply one version of an infinite number of different virtual realities. It's the one version that matches that tapestry. And here's the good news. There's not one particle of it that's cast in stone. In your world, your right to choose is absolute. It has to be so because it is your choices that define your world. You are always at choice. You alone choose what to believe. And here's some more good news. Since your choices define your world, you don't need to confine yourself to what's possible or probable, because your choices define what's possible and probable. And here's what to watch out for. Every choice you make is self-sustaining, because the reality that shows up will prove you made the right choice. So don't let your own creation fool you. You can choose and choose again. Nobody and no thing can ever take away your right, or anybody else's right, to choose. So let's return to the questions we posed at the outset. How on earth did this happen? Well, you are not the one exception on the planet to the law of attraction. It happened to you in your particular version of reality because, despite what might have seemed to you like a lot of hoping and an adequate amount of visualizing a more positive result, the evidence tells you otherwise. On this subject, your net vibration was negative. You spent more time imagining what you didn't want, worrying, than imagining what you do want. So you failed. You created Mr. Kavanaugh and got him installed. So no big deal. So what can you do now? You can do the reverse of that. Start imagining a positive outcome and choosing to believe in it. So let's look at just one potential outcome here and watch where your mind goes as you see it, perhaps as a possible version of your world. Let's imagine that said Mr. Kavanaugh now has a road to Damascus experience. He has an epiphany. And as he steps into a new way of thinking, his beliefs become more aligned with yours. And over the years, he stands out in history as one of the finest justices ever to serve on the Supreme Court. So where did your mind go? Was it, oh no way, I just want him to disappear now and take that president with him? So if that version of a positive outcome was not what you wanted, why not? Are you starting to see where we're going here? You are wanting to disown your role in creating him as he seems to be, and in his appointment. Well, you cannot. And you cannot create the absence of what is not wanted, because your focus on it will create more of what is not wanted. You have to create the presence of what is wanted. Now that particular outcome may not necessarily be your number one desired choice, but if you cannot see it as one you could embrace, then what you think you want, get rid of him, is not really what you want, a world more to your liking that you create by choice. We say, be clear on what you want. We also say, nothing you want is upstream. Everything you want is downstream. It's time to put the oars aside, lower your resistance, and embrace the new matching version of reality that's inevitably about to appear on the bank of your river, just around the next bend. So we say, lighten up. Be easy about all of this. You came here for the joy of creating new things. Let the dance begin. So there you have it. Truth be told, the only person who gets to vote in your world is you. So, as I said at the start, we'll be producing soon here our series on Law of Attraction, the whole story, and how you change your world. So, watch out for that, and the best way to do that, of course, is to subscribe right here. Thanks. We'll see you soon.